Hey. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Feel right. Let's see if that's actually the link. Pretty sure it's not. Gonna get you there. Yeah, it's not right. Alright. Let's see where we can find this link so we can get started. There we go. Alrighty, so this is my live stream here. I'm going to start analyzing in 2 minutes. Just get myself some coffee. Okay. So now I will switch these levels. -75. $43, $14.50. So this was the high here. 28.75. Pretty close. I want this level to be extended to the 23rd so I can see it. It's a decent upside target. We do have a lot of control here. Okay. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. Market opens in 4 minutes. So this is a live stream. It's going out on YouTube right now, but it is being recorded. So I'm gonna have it there. I'll edit it up to make it a little more appealing for my review afterwards. So we'll just go through with what's going on. I know it's a brand new live stream. Probably won't get everybody on here today. So just looking to get consistent with it. 1500. The close was 703.75. Today's a cowboy hat kind of day. Move this up here a little bit. The previous day low is down here. $8.30. That previous day low was 14.541. That's not right. What was this? 14.516. The overnight low is around here right now. This zone that I drew up yesterday seems to be pretty spot on to where price wants to be. So I'm going to take that as a value area-ish. Check those out in a minute. Markets were pretty flat overnight after that big run-up sell-off. Sit flat. I think it's going to want to decide where it wants to go on the open. We will wait and see. It's just sitting in that zone there. Both of these are. Come and get your love. I'm going to sing. I'm going to talk to myself. If you have anything to say, put it in the chat. I will comment back because it is not a super exciting job. If you like the cowboy hat, I'll keep wearing it. If not, it's only because it was the closest hat to me. Look at the collar here. Market opens in less than a minute. So check the phone now. And there's that opening bell. See what it wants to do on the open. Like I said, in my strategy, I usually don't like to trade the first 5-minute candle because it's confused. Markets get pretty confused. We're sitting at yesterday's previous day high on the S&Ps, which just tried to break above it. A lot of times it'll try and come back to that previous day close. The NASDAQ here, we're sitting right at the previous day close. So, it's there now. So we'll see which way it wants to break. It kind of middle range right now. This big gray bar here that I drew is a zone that I find very important, that it likes to kind of keep coming back to time and time again. So I kind of just like to keep watching. I flip back and forth between the two charts. Still pretty flat. I'm going to check on gold real quick. Gold overnight pretty much sold off. It's been selling off with, I believe, dollar strength on yesterday's or 2 days ago's big sell-off. So they're kind of inversely correlated here. I'm going to extend these out because I think they're important as well, just in case I decide to take gold, but probably not. I've been pretty decent on gold, except it's kicked my ass a little bit. So kind of staying away from it for now. I just check it to see what's going on with it. That and oil. Oil is rallying today. It had that sell off also. Everything pretty much sold off in the same day. Friday, over the weekend and into Monday. And then it kind of bottomed out, and now it's kind of recovering here. So we'll see. There was also a unexpected surplus in oil supplies. That's some of the fundamental stuff. I don't trade oil frequently, so we're going to go back to the NASDAQ. I've been having better success that way. So I'm just going to keep watching, see what happens here. I like to have a little bit of perspective. See what price has done. I'm become pretty much price action dependent. You'll see some of this like indicator here on the bottom. This is just a squeeze indicator. It helps me hold positions a bit, but not so much get in or out. It just shows where some of the momentum is going and how much open interest and a lot of those things. I'm just going to explain a little bit on the chart for anybody who hasn't seen any of the other videos that I've made. What I did was, when I was in pre-market, I'll open this up bigger. Every day I have these same lines. I just adjust them each and every day. Whenever I get into my little pre-market routine, I will draw my yellow lines, which are my overnight session, which would be this. Anything where it's from 1500 up to 8:30 this morning. So I'll mark up the high and the low of the night. The purple line here is always the day before's close, so it's right here, previous day close. Red lines is the previous day's session, so that whole from the previous day low to previous day high is what happened yesterday with price action. And then there will be some random red lines here. Those are just price levels that have played in the past. These white lines here are daily and weekly structured points. And then I'll have gray value zones that I have drawn up as well. So if you have any questions about any of the zones or anything that I drew up on here, the pink line is a VWAP. It's just like a volume weighted average price. Looks like price is breaking above yesterday's high. It's still trying to recover from some of that sell-off coming from Friday. I do see it probably wanting to come back into that gray rectangle zone from 43.42 up to 43.45, and if it breaks through that, it's going to kind of return back into some of these highs. This high here is 43.67. I also have this chart that I always use here. This is going to show me a lot of the points of control. These lines I drew on the bottom, not really pertinent because I haven't changed them in a long time, but it did dip back into there, and I used them when I was in there. I kind of just use this as a reference to my other chart. So these yellow lines are value areas, and the white line here is a point of control. The gray lines are open interest and orders and whatnot, volume at these certain levels, right? So yesterday's high and low value area, and where price tends to stay the most is that point of control. So I use these charts. This one here is for seeing just only sessions that have no overnight. So 30-minute candles, no overnight sessions. That's why you'll see these big gaps. That's a lot of my strategy as well, because it likes to close some of these gaps. So I'll look sometimes to close these gaps here, like yesterday. That was part of my strategy. Helped me stay in some of the trades I made. So you can see it over here, and this is a larger view value area right here and here, and a point of control, and then I drew in some lines as well. So price is starting to break and hold above on this S&P, so I might try and enter. It's, to me though, it's hard because I don't like to enter in the middle of a range here. This is the previous day high, yes, but I need to see what it does at this overnight high before I decide if I want to take it long or if I want to go short with it and fade that move off that overnight high. Yeah, these candles are strong right now. We got plenty of time in the day. I could have taken this move here on the break of this previous day high here. We broke this structure. We broke this resistance here, and I could have taken it probably up to that overnight high. I was doing some explaining of what the charts look like and what you're looking at, so that's kind of why I didn't. But I'm not too worried about that move there. It still could be a fake out and looking to roll back over to at least the VWAP and down to the close. Cowboy hat day here. I'm going to keep mentioning it because why not? Both the S&P and the NASDAQ are doing some of the same things, right? Opened up here, broke above, holding above the VWAP. It's running, NASDAQ's running into some resistance here, but there's a lot of chop, like you could see from last night. So it did run into this level here, 14,738.97, which is not really a number, but all right. NASDAQ has a lot more room to me as far as upside. It's also a little bit more volatile, if you will. You'll see if you look at this DOM here, it jumps, right? It doesn't just go tick by tick by tick. It's jumping and jumping, right? That could be a little concerning if you're starting out and you don't know what's going on with it. Come and get your love. See what's going on here. Oh. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. So the price is a little bit slowing down a little bit on the S&P. See, it's rejecting. There's a lot. When it has this chop here, there's a lot of orders probably just sitting in here from the overnight. You got the open volume here as well. So I kind of don't like to play it in the middle of this range. So we're going to just sit on our hands for a little bit. My strategy, for the most part, I'm not trying to catch huge moves. If you've ever seen anything else that I've done, I'm trying to catch a small piece of a big move and walk out the door with some profits on the day. Really, the only thing that makes your profit grow is position size and percentages of your account. So my account is right here, 37, whatever. I'm going to actually close it so it's not up there all the time. It's just you can put on more contracts as you have a bigger account size, and you're able to make it grow that way. But for me right now, one trade, is the goal. One or two, not trying to scalp a bunch of little, catch a tick here, catch a tick there. That's not really good for me, especially because it gets eaten up in commissions, right? If I can make one trade, make that 500 a day in that one trade, it would be ideal. 1, 2. Sometimes I'll get stopped out a little bit sooner than I want to, but that's just because I'm with the futures. It's a little different, and with the day trading, I like to trail my stops kind of tight. Sometimes I'll be away, I'll be at training or something, and I have it in my rules where I'm not supposed to be trading at work, but sometimes I see an opportunity and I'm not doing anything. So here we go. The NASDAQ might be setting up for an opportunity. If it pulls back and rejects my little gray box here, and the S&Ps also sort of come back and reject it the same way or push back up, I might want to take it long, right? So this presents me with an opportunity here. We had a overnight session that was choppy. We came close to going up to the overnight high, didn't really get there. We're running into some sell orders that are here. The gray box is sort of like a value area. The previous day close is in there as well, so might look to take that long from that spot there. Or if it does not, the S&Ps might reject as well off that previous day high, because that we get a couple more candles in, the VWAP will be up here a little bit. Reject this thing usually, it's pretty spot on, this VWAP. A lot of times it'll act as, you'll see it here, price will come above it, and then it'll just keep retesting it, and then it'll run off. It respects that line a lot. I guess it's a trader psychology thing with some of these things here. As you can see with this volume here, this little this squeeze chart, you can see how as the volume increases with the orders and the momentum is going, the light blue lines are going up as well. And then as it got to the top, the color changed to a dark blue. That just means that some of the momentum is coming out. You have it here as well. The momentum is coming back. It just has to do with some of the orders. It's a little bit laggy, but it's pretty good. It'll help you catch a lot of a move. But also, you'll see maybe it's a pullback here, maybe it's a pullback here, and you can catch another bit of a move up. So I like to look at that. And also we'll go back to the value areas here. $43.39. So 43.40 seems to be an important spot here. If it breaks above that, it's got some room. So we'll see. It's just a kind of a flat morning. Nothing too volatile. Like this volume here is pretty strong. This big blue candle on the open, you didn't get a big move. It was pretty muted. I think markets have just accepted some of what's going on, kind of waiting for some direction. Sorry, some days are as uneventful as can be. When you open up in the middle of a range, you're not giving yourself a good risk to reward. All right, so now we're pushing back up there. NASDAQ is rejecting that level a bit. So I may, on my TopStep account, look to take it long. I might want it to tickle down one more push back down. Just if it holds above here, however, 14.273, it's pretty strong. Yeah. Doing too much looking at the other chart and not taking that entry. So that would have been a great, for me, that would have been a good entry right there. You got onto the VWAP, pretty close to our value zone, and then rejected totally. This, obviously you can see this candle here. These are 5-minute candles if you did not know. That's what I like to trade on my daily charts. I mean on my day trading charts, I'm sorry. But I do like to look at the 30-minute because that's where a lot of more clear picture comes into play. Damn, I missed that one. Talking too much. It's missed opportunities. They are what they are. It's okay. Might get that pullback one more time and see what happens. Thanks, Kai. Live streaming trading isn't as exciting as games. You know, you're not going to get a kill every day all the time. But if you can watch what I'm doing and learn how to be a little bit patient, you can consistently pull at least a little bit of money out of the market on a pretty frequent basis. Like I said, I try my best to do on this account 500 a day. If I hit that mark quick, I'm done. I don't even stay here. I just get off the computer, go do something else, and make it a better day. Computer's getting mad at me. There we go. All right, so I am pulling back down again on that NASDAQ and the S&P. So this is like a sort of like a divergence strategy here as far as this goes. You see that the NASDAQ is pulling back, but the S&Ps are still pushing back up a little bit. So to me, that tells me that one of the two is leading the orders charge here, right? And then a lot of times one will follow the other. If the NASDAQ wants to sell off, and it does so pretty hard, that kind of triggers some of the S&P traders to also sell in later, or vice versa. If you see a big push up in the S&Ps and then you don't get it in the NASDAQ, there's a chance, especially if it's at some structures, that you're going to get the follow. So I kind of look for some of that as well. That's why I kind of check both charts, looking for one trade. Oh. Getting a little choppy screaming. Sorry if that happens. I don't know what's going on with my computer at the moment. Oh no, I closed out of something on accident. Okay. Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Just if you are here and it's choppy, just let me know so I can try and fix it somehow. I don't know what's going on with it, but probably because I'm trying to run a streaming video. So here, you're getting that S&P to push up to that overnight high. I'm gonna look for it to break above it and try and reject this value zone that I drew up. I think the NASDAQ is gonna follow, so I am likely gonna take a trade off of the View app here if I can. I don't know if I have. The NASDAQ has a little bit more buying power. Anybody who's not familiar, these are the futures markets. I have kind of gotten into a rhythm lately doing the S&Ps and the NASDAQ. I do some gold. I just kind of look for whatever opportunity is there. I did start in Forex. Shout out to Kyler in Cleveland over there, watching over my shoulder here. I see you. But yeah, the futures to me, as far as day trading is concerned, once you have a certain capital level, you're able to to trade it, and there's some benefits to doing that. And I'm probably going to make a video on what the benefits I see for day trading futures as opposed to other things. It's, including stocks and whatnot. You do avoid that pattern day trader rule, which is something that a lot of people try to do. I mean, your account size will take over that anyway. But on my TopStep, which I am still trying to do, I'm trying to pass because why not? I took a NASDAQ long here because of this divergence. I'm looking to get the NASDAQ to reject off of this value zone here that I have and at least come hopefully up to the top of this and then back up to this overnight high if I could get it. We'll see what happens. I could get stopped out kind of quick because my stops in futures on certain trades are pretty tight. I'm not trying to lose a bunch of money on these because they are expensive. Thanks for the input, Ryan. Laptop is not as strong as my other computer. So like you said, right here, 14.27, you're going to reject off of here. You're getting that little wedge. So it's going to pick a direction, hopefully shortly, and I'm hoping it's to the upside, but that's just kind of how you do this game of trading, right? You're looking to make sure, I want to have this extended. You give yourself a little bit of an edge and then let the market do what it's going to do. Use your stops, let things play out, but look for something that's a little bit more high probability, right? So now the S&Ps, I'm just going to keep talking about what I see just so you get an idea of what I'm kind of thinking about and what's going through my head. You can see how these levels play out over and over and over again with the, when you go through, if you're a member of Top Traders and you're over here and you go through the combine and you learn a lot about what price does. Kyler and Cleveland talk a lot about price discovery. A lot of this is the same stuff, right? Everything wants to go back to where it has been. It just keeps coming back, right? Rejecting levels, creating patterns. All of this is human behavior and human psychology. So if you could learn to at least have an idea of what people are thinking at certain levels, it's going to give you a little bit extra push in the right direction. So that's what I'm doing. I see this rejection, I see this push through, and there you go, right? There's that lag I'm talking about. You got to push through this level, the overnight high. So I don't take that immediately. I want that to kind of reject this gray box, and then I want it to hold above this overnight high. If it holds above the overnight high, I'm thinking that we can catch a decent move. And on my TopStep, that was a great entry. I'm moving my stuff to break even. Actually, I'm moving it past break even because I'm trying to take as much out of it as I can. I'm scooting my stop loss up pretty good. Since I'm on here, I'm going to move it over here so you can see it. There we go. I got a pretty decent move up. If it does break that high, I would like to see it go. I actually want to move my stop down a little. Oh, I got stop filled. It's all right. We'll take that. The first trade of the day, plus 402. That's only trading 2 contracts on the NASDAQ. You can see what kind of buying power you have. I entered off of this candle here at the bottom. I probably could have let it go a little bit further, but I was just trying to come over here and show you, so I moved the stop, and I don't want to get taken out for a loss on that. You're going to see it's a very similar program. I just used this on the side because I don't necessarily use these charts. They're not the best charts. I love these Thinkorswim platform here. It's got so much useful information. So I just execute on the other one, and then I do all my charting and all my analysis on this side right here. I don't know if I refresh. It's YouTube likes to give me this error, but I don't want to click on something and end this stream if it doesn't work. Nope, I don't want to exit. Cancel. All right, that's cool. So at least you saw that I did take an entry. I looked for that rejection here, and the Same thing. You saw it push up, and it was pushing up well before this one even decided to make a move. So I took my entry here, hoping that the Nasdaq wanted to catch up. It did, and I do see that it probably will continue to the upside and likely reach that overnight high. My futures trading is a little, like the day trading is a little bit different than some of the swing trades that we'll do in the Forex markets and whatnot. So just kind of bear with me on some of these, getting stopped out, taking these trades. You catch some of the home runs, but especially with the futures and my goal of 500 a day or whatever your percentage of your account is that you're trying to catch as a day trader, you want to secure some of those profits, but you don't want to give back much, especially those aren't huge numbers. And if this rolls over, the futures cost you a lot of money. They're tying up quite a bit of capital here. If you look at these big buttons, the dashboard, this is the kind of margin that's required just to make a couple dollars, right? So that's the reason a lot of people don't just trade futures and they tie up all their capital, because for that's just the initial margin plus what you're up and down and whatnot. So like I said, I'll do a little video just to kind of explaining what futures is and what kind of requirements it takes to trade these. So the S&P for me is holding above this overnight high, right? And I need it to reject, but I also need we're gonna close the hourly the hourly candle is gonna close in 4 minutes 30 seconds. I don't really like to enter anything on that candle also that's 5 minutes before an hour or a 30-minute candle close, because a lot of times you'll get some volatility on every hour for some reason. I guess that's just like a magic number. I'm not going to pretend like I know exactly why things happen. So you'll see that this is the 30-minute candles. You'll see some smooth movements, less chop in the 30-minute. You can see things a lot better. So when it get close to a half hour or an hour close, I will tend to look and see where they are on the levels and how it looks like it's going to reject, because you'll get a better picture of what's going on. So if the 30-minute and the hourly pretty much would be the same look, I'll show you the hourly just so you are aware of what it looks like. Right, there's the hourly. Phone calls. You'll see this here. So it's very much similar. 30 minutes, a lot of people like to use this. So 30-minute, if I can have this hold, I might look to enter something long on that. Can break above this. Can catch a move up into, I'm thinking I can catch it up probably a bit higher, 43, 53, 75. We will see. Come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love now. So for me, I like to sing, I like to listen to music, but if I'm live streaming and all that, I tend to not put the music on because I don't like YouTube to get mad at me. One of my favorite trading mixes is the Awesome Mix Volume 1 and 2. That's from Guardians of the Galaxy, of course. I just find that just keeps me in a good rhythm when I'm stuck. There's little things that you can do that just make you a little happy, listen to some music. You don't have to stare at the chart the whole time. Drink a lot of coffee. All right, so it looks like it's going to probably hold above that 43, 38, 39 level. I don't know who called me from New York City. Well, yeah, we'll see. There you go. We got that. That candle's starting to get stronger, and it's built on some volume here, so that's an important part of trends, right? The volume is decreasing on that 5 minute, but that's just kind of normal on a day-to-day basis. You'll see this is yesterday, higher volume in the morning. It runs off through the middle of the day because most people are making their money here, getting out and carrying on, and then At the end of the day, you get that big volume, people getting out and going home on that trade right there. So you'll see the volume spikes beginning and the end of the day pretty consistently. There we go. 9 o'clock, we have pushed into that gray box. I want to see a 5-minute. So I don't know why. I think a swim gets a little funky sometimes, but I do love it. I want to reject this and then also reject this yellow line. If I could get that price to pull back here, I would like to take a long, but it has to hold. It has to hold this level here. I think maybe it has to do with the live stream that it gets a little stuck, but it's all right. Price wants to go. It might not be a perfect entry, but if I could get down to 43.40 flat again, I'll enter. 43.40 flat. I'll even put a buy limit here. So if it hits it, it hits it. If not, it doesn't. Then whatever. It's no big deal. My TopStep, I'm looking to do the same. Nasdaq is pulling back pretty hard, but normal. Like you could see here, if the S&P runs, it seems like today the Nasdaq is behind, but it could be now trying to take ahead. You'll have a lot of sectors. Where are we at? Product depth, is that the one? Nope, that's not it. Market watch, visualize. There we go. So you'll see this is the everything in here. That's get a lot of green. I just got triggered into that trade, so we'll go and check. Right, I could have been a little more patient, let it happen, but 43.40 to me is a good price point to get in, and I'm gonna look to take it up to the top of this zone. If it breaks above the gray box, then I'll be a happy camper. If it does not, then you take the loss and you move on and you look for the next one. I am a little bit hesitant to place tight stops right away on my Thinkorswim account, only because I fear price manipulation, and I can kind of see it. It comes with a little bit of experience. I will just flatten if I want to get out pretty quick, but I never leave myself in a point where I'm not gonna be able to get out. Once I see price start to develop itself, then I'll put my stops out a little bit further. I'm gonna actually look to take the Nasdaq also, if I could get some of this to pop up. Alrighty, I'm gonna go long on this. Yes, here are 2 contracts from that point. 43.49, 41. Buy that here.
Order filled.
So now I'm in both on here. So like I said, I would have liked to have waited till it came back down here. So I'm going to be lingering in the negative territory. But if it doesn't reject, and if the price tends to hold under this level here, that's usually when I'll just cut the loss and look to move on. But I do feel like there is a lot of price manipulation that goes on, especially in the futures market. You'll see candles whip down, grab a couple stops, and then rip back up. So that's why I'm a little hesitant on placing a tight stop right below here, because I know for sure that they're going to try and wick it down. They can see what entries I got going on. That's why these programs are free commissions, but not on the futures market, but on a lot of the other things. I'm not going to badmouth the market makers right now. All right, I'm going to focus a little bit. Like I said, so you saw a pretty flat price action overnight. You didn't get explosive moves out of the morning, but a lot of times, from my limited experience, you'll see whatever on these kind of days where it's a little bit slower, a little bit flatter, you're going to get some of that price action just to continue to grind up or grind down, whichever direction it's going. Today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. You know, price just kind of might grind around a bit for the rest of the week. It is the summertime, although, you know, most of those traders that are on the floors or whatever are taking weekends off, so you would think that there would be some more movement today. So I'm expecting something to go. Come and get your love. Come and get your love. Come and get your love now. One contract right now. It's possible to make money on just one contract. I'm going to check on my value areas here. So a lot of times too, for some reason, I don't know what that setting is that I have on, but this little white candle here, it'll tend to show you reversals. So that helps sometimes with getting in or out of positions. Right now, this is not showing any sort of reversal. We are well out of value for the day, but it's still early in the day. This chart does adjust. The yellow lines will adjust. See where the next value area or point of control is that 43.42 level. Kind of just look at these levels and see the past values. 43.47 is the point of control of this 10-day period, so could look to catch it up to there too, which would be nice. You can see I have the same DOM up here, so if I come over to this chart and I want to get out or in, I still have the opportunity to do so. It keeps everything simple. And if you're watching, if you have any questions about anything that's going through my head, just let me know, because it's hard to just ramble on about nonsense, you know. Show you my TopStep real quick since I am in on it. It's kind of just hovering here. I got in on that pullback. Could pull back all the way down. I don't foresee it, but if it does, we're going to kind of keep an eye on it. I only have 2 contracts open there. I am still, or I mean, I was up 6 and change, right, from the other trade. So this is phase 2, not phase 2, step 2 of the TopStep Trader Combine. So got to trade for 10 days, and this is going to be day 3 of the step 2. I broke my ankle, so I've been a little hobbled lately, so things are kind of annoying. I'm glad I was able to get live streaming. Happy I was able to actually make it happen today. So you did get this rejection. Since this is my analysis of what's going on, you're rejecting that overnight high. We've gotten out of this zone, and if I can get acceptance into this gray box, you can see how these levels just continue to be respected. And over time, you'll learn to see these levels and be able to draw zones, as some of the other people will call them. I use lines in the futures because there are very specific areas within the future market that I can pick and pinpoint. But I also do enjoy to have a target zone with certain zones and certain areas that are not overnight high, overnight low, previous day high, and all those things, right? So you're going to get to see that a lot of the places that I'll draw a box, this is old. I mean, I've drawn this box up. When did I draw this up? Whenever it started is when I drew it up. 30 minutes. All the way back last Wednesday. So from last Wednesday to this Wednesday, is it a coincidence that on a Wednesday we're in the, within a week, we're in the same zone? Probably not, right? Price just wants to come back to certain areas, and it'll respect and reject a lot. So I don't know if you can clearly see why I picked this area, but it is a pretty good zone, right? So my goal is to see it push through and reject, and then hopefully continue on. It could likely just sit at that level and reject it and not accept into it. But with the day trading strategy, I try to be a little bit more aggressive. So that's my vision on what's going on right now. So this was a decent run up, and you're going to get some breath, likely at an area where there was a lot of orders in the past. And you can see that there's a bunch of orders sitting here right now. So it wants to pick a direction. Just which way does it want to go? Does it want to roll back over and come down to the VWAP? Or does it want to hold the overnight high, maybe peek into it, steal some stops down to 43.34, and then push through my little value area. I don't think that there has been enough fundamental data that shows that we need to correct in the market. So that's why I don't feel at this moment in time that it wants to just melt off and roll over. I think Friday, Monday, and the overnight on Sunday and Monday, I think that was just the market's just taking a breath for a second, just so they could shake out some of the long players, catch some shorts, and push it back to the upside. The Fed is still holding strong on their little policy. So as long as they're still buying up and keeping the rates the way they are, and stimulus keeps coming, people are going to still just spend until things like that stop, or inflation takes a skyrocket. Then we're going to have pretty bullish markets. I just think that this is winding up right now. You see prices are just kind of consolidating right around this level. There's a reason why a lot of times when I'll get in, it seems like price just sits there. I don't know, a lot of people might get that, but I kind of picked the right spots lately. Run up, take a breather. You're getting a little bit of a wedge here, and this support, it doesn't want to break it, right? So it's showing me that there's a lot of buyers down here at 43.38. As long as there's enough buyers to just soak up all these orders here that were in this zone, we can break through and push out. And I'm hoping I can catch it for you on the live stream. And then once I catch whatever move I get, then I will take a break. If I'm going to catch a little bit, if I can catch a decent part of this move where it's explosive out and I trail my stops up, and I'm going to show you how I'll take a little bit of a idea. You have to have a plan, right, going in. So I've explained to you some of what my plan is, right? I want it to break through here. Once it gets above that zone, let's say it does, right? It gets above here and it starts to sit on top of it. I'll start to trail my stops kind of tight, right? Because a lot of times it gets above the zone, it'll hold, and then if it breaks down and accepts back in, you're going to roll back over to here. So why would I want to lose some of those profits that I can catch? That's half of my day, $250 on one trade. Do I want to lose that? No. So it's a decent percentage. And once you have more contracts on, you're going to start seeing that number, two contracts, that's 500, 3 it's 750, 4 it's 1,000. So small moves of big moves, right? Smaller portions of big moves can yield you some decent results in this the futures market here. I do plan on doing a little bit of Forex reviews and stuff like that, but that's going to be more of a weekend video. I think I can set up some of those plays like Kyler and Cleveland do. They do a great job of analysis, so I don't really need to fill that void too much. But there are people on here that don't know who top traders are. If you check out some of my other videos, there are links down in the video description so you can sign up and learn about Forex and how to trade the markets that way. How I learned, and a lot of what I learned in the Forex markets all markets. You learn to trade one asset class, you can take it into each and every one as long as you properly manage your money, right? That's all it comes down to. Like finding an edge and trying to execute on a consistent basis without getting emotional. That's all you can do. It's kind of just sitting here, but it's winding up in my eyes. I think it just kind of wants to pick a direction. If it picks the wrong way, then I'll take my loss and move on. If it picks the way I want it to go, or think it's going to go, or if my hypothesis is correct, then we'll have a decent move to the upside. We are still getting a little bit of a divergence with the NASDAQ and the S&Ps. The NASDAQ has pulled back down into that 14,734, right? I don't have the squeeze on this bottom chart. I don't know why. It always goes away when I close it. So you're coming back down into this structure here, support, probably going to reject it. If the S&Ps continue to push higher, this is going to lag behind. Or if this sharply sells off, I wouldn't be surprised if this decides right afterwards to sharply sell off as well. So I keep an eye on both, even when I'm in just one. And I do like to check what my gold's doing. Gold is pushing up, so it's not a great sign. And oil is pushing up as well. Nasdaq is getting strong down. Come on, baby. I like to talk to my charts. I'm sure a lot of people do. Coach them out. Check my messages here. I don't know who this was. They didn't leave a message. Probably, I'm gonna guess that my car warranty is likely the one that's gone. So they wanted to sell me a new one. I don't know. I guess I owe them, or the IRS maybe wants to arrest me. Either one. We'll see which it was. If you are wondering why I look to the left a lot, or on your screen it's to the right, it's because my other monitor is up over here and my streaming stuff is on my main screen here. So we are a little bit lagged. I mean, not lagged, but there's a slight delay. I'm gonna, when I do schedule, if I do tomorrow's live stream, I'm gonna schedule and set the latency to be slightly less, because it looks like we're a couple seconds behind, and I would like to be a little bit more live with you guys. It might chop a little bit more and not be as smooth, and I just think that for the day trading purposes, if I had a faster moving market, there's sometimes I'll click this, right? If I would have taken that break of the previous day high and brought it to the overnight high, we would be done already. That's enough of a move right there that would pay the bills for the day and call it, right? You're seeing the rejection of that VWAP again down on the NASDAQ. I'm looking for one of these to push up. NASDAQ is rejecting good. Hopefully that pushes my S&Ps up a bit. I think I like it, right? This cowboy hat here. It's letting me see what's going on pretty good. I am not superstitious. However, I am an ex-athlete, and we do have times where we like to be consistent. So we got a little bit of a push down again. Yeah, I'm superstitious. All right. Rejecting that high again. Let's see, how far behind is this? Very. I guess that chop really got me pretty far behind. Unless my screen is not showing me exactly what's going on. Maybe it is. Oh, all right. Good. Cool. All right. Oh, there we go. That's not what I wanted to happen. Let's see if it's just to shake me out. And you see that big drop down there. Price picked the direction. But we are still in a point where it might want to reject these highs here, right? We'll see what happens. What is that price point? No, it is pushing down pretty good. I don't know if it wants to steal some stops, because the NASDAQ is also pushing up still. And let's see. It could be a manipulation. Could not be. I'm going to focus a little bit more. The base of that is 43.34.50. 43.34.50. sometimes you have to stomach some drawdown. The NASDAQ is pushing up pretty good actually now. I don't know if it's going to lead or if it's going to be the one that's going to dump off after that. I feel like this was a little bit of a manipulation. That's why I held it. You got to stomach some of these dumps if potentially it does run up. If it holds below here, who knows? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at the 9:30 mark. 9:30 will be 1 hour into the market being open. A lot of people like to be done by then. You can see if this holds this level, this overnight high. There we go, back above it. So, like you see why I didn't place a stop, really, like tight, quick stops. On the futures, they're super volatile and they are manipulated in a way where they know where there's orders. And if they see, hey, this is holding this level, let's dump down and steal some stops. That's why I don't use a quick, tight stop on my futures right away. If it would have dumped all the way down here, I mean, that's my fault. But I will replace a stop at some point soon if things do not look like they're going to manipulate much more. Markets get manipulated. Welcome to finance. Got to stomach that. That's part of this game. I don't know if anybody watched my intro video, but baseball, striking out, if you're hitting 300 a lot of times in the major leagues, you're a Hall of Famer. So there's a high correlation with failure and dealing with some drawdown, as you go through slumps and everything. So I think a lot of that has to do with how I'm able to deal with some of these trades and whatnot. Just gonna keep looking, see what's going on. It's kind of just stagnating right now. I don't have the NASDAQ up right now on this screen, but it is up over on my other screen, and it is pushing up higher and higher. If the NASDAQ can break above 14,760-ish, or even lower than that, 55, 56, the S&Ps might want to just catch a ride. So I'm not too concerned about that little candle there until I start to catch a little bit further. 34.50, I believe it was the base of this. Let's go back to the big screen here. This little bit here, there's some orders there, all the way down to 34 flat. So 34 flat would be a danger zone for me. Anything below here, it would start. You can see how there's structure here, and there's been a lot of price here. I think there's just soaking up some of these orders from the overnight session before we can potentially push higher. All right, so NASDAQ is still pushing up a little bit. It's getting to its resistance. If it can break above, we can see where it wants to go. NASDAQ has room. The high is basically 15,000, just about. And if you look at this on a little bit of a longer term, you got a big push up. You have the channel, almost like a flag pattern, shaping up. If it could break above here, you could see that run back up, probably into that 14,850. As you can see, if I would have been a little bit patient on that TopStep account, I could have caught a little bit more of a move, but that's not my day trading strategy with that, especially with the NASDAQ when it likes to pump and run. You can catch some decent moves. Probably could have held it a little bit longer. Left my stop at break even. Wouldn't have got stopped out. Would have got to the high. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Hindsight's 20/20, right? So we're still in this. We're grinding through. This is kind of an important part of the live stream. I like to show what my thought process is in drawdown set parts of a trade. This is still to me a bullish signal, if you will. You do get this volume here, right? This squeeze indicator. You had the build up. Now you've had the two dark blue, which shows some sort of winding down of a trade, but at any minute it could pop back up right here. Boom. Got a few more blues, so I'm looking to see if maybe it'll pull back a little bit more on the volume or on the squeeze and then run out. So NASDAQ did break its previous little structure here, and now it's sitting on top of 14.57, see? Right here, broke through. Almost right to the overnight high as expected. We look to break above it. Would love to see it. You love to see it. All right. Don't be surprised if we get one more bump down into that zone here on this trade before we try and run up a bit higher. Even a chance that if I had a little bit more buying power on this account, you could even potentially add a second contract onto this, but that's not how I'm going to do it. And I also don't have the buying power at the moment. We'll see what happens. Patience. Tomorrow is Thursday. I am going back to work, light duty, with my broken foot. So I work from 2 to 10. I will try and stream in the morning. I'm definitely going to be on here on the charts, see what kind of trades I can take. Today I could be on the charts all day. I could stream all day. I don't think everybody's going to stay around all day, but I'm going to stay on here, stay on the charts, unless I catch a huge move right here and grab my profits. But on days that I'm working, doing that day job, I'm going to cut out of here probably around 12:30 if I do stream that long. There's days, like I said, 5 minutes and you're done, 10 minutes, you're done, and then you're off. I don't think that benefits you as much, so I'm going to stream, hopefully at least every day that I'm on. I'm going to try and stream from any time between 8 and 8:15 until, I'll try and go all the way till 10, even if I'm not, unless there's no like movement on the charts, right? We'll decide that day, day-to-day basis, but at least give you a few, an hour and change of chart analysis, where the price is going, where I see it going. These are not signals. I am not a professional. Take this as education only. Do not sue me if you lose all your money, because I'm not in that game. Just showing you what I'm doing, how it's like to be a day trader, as well as have a day job, as well as move to another state. So this whole thing is going to be pretty intricate account. I think I got a lot of things to offer as far as my knowledge, what I'm talking about, where my trading psychology comes into play. I'm going to do some reviews on equipment. I'm going to do some book reviews because I do enjoy reading a lot. I think reading helps. And I'll do some, once I'm through with my TopStep in any way that I do decide to finish it, hopefully funded, I will give you my review on how their program works and everything like that, and my experience with any other prop firm stuff that I've tried, just to try and get somebody else's money to trade, So right now, this is just a holding pattern, waiting to see if this price wants to take its turn up or down for real. We are just sitting above that overnight high. We're going to pump down again. 34 is that number where I think we're wrong, right? We will be wrong if it dumps down deep below 34. I don't think that's the case. I don't see that price is not that. It is coming down. 34 flat is probably the hard stop, but I don't want to be there. this here, the squeeze indicator will show you that it's just kind of slowing down. Probably catch a little bit of a consolidation. All right, 34, 50, 35. Got a fly in my face. Catching a bit of drawdown. No biggie. And there we go. It's running down a little bit more. All right, so I'm going to get myself out of here. Oh. This is where I have my stop set. We're going to go to 350. Buy stops at 33. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Sell stop. Silly me. Sell stop. Sometimes you make silly mistakes when you click buttons, but so that's where I want my hard stop to be. 33. At this point, I don't think price, if it goes below there, I think it's going to try and accept into another value zone. I'm going to go over here to this. We'll kind of reject. So we did. So now you see this white candle here. There's a chance that this is a reversal from this pullback. So we'll see. I mean, I have my stop below it. If it decides to dump down, I'm gonna look for another entry to try and come back in the game. But I'm still bullish on it. I think it's just a healthy pullback on this run up. So you got to be patient. You got to experience some drawdown, and you got to understand where you're wrong. 34 would have been wrong, like a flush through it. So once I let that candle finish its idea of where it wanted to find a bottom, I just put my stop below there, and that's my catastrophic, set that failure. I think if it flushes that, I think we're probably going to catch into this zone here and run down. But I don't really see it coming that way. I hope. Who knows? I'm more patient than some. And if it happens, it happens. If I get stopped out, I don't really get too concerned about it, to be honest. Because I only trade a percentage of the account, and I've learned from making those mistakes where you can blow your accounts up. I don't know, I hate little fruit flies. They're annoying. Nasdaq's pulling back again. I want to show you that. Here's that Nasdaq. It's that chop, right? We're in that range. Chop up, down, up, down. You need to see this thing break above here before you could even catch it. The reason this entry for me was good was because of the zone, because of the close. Could have caught it all the way up. Would have liked to on this account. I was looking at this S&P, and it seems like it doesn't like me today. So all good. Still fair. There are buy orders at 30, 43.30. There's some volume down here, but I mean, like I said, I don't want to see it catch some sell side move here and bang me out for $1,000 or something like that. 350, not my loss limit. So I will look for another trade if we do get stopped out here. That Nasdaq trade was the trade, though. I think that was the go-to. It was a perfect setup for what I was looking for, and
stop filled.
Execute it. So we got stopped. All right, on that account, and I'm probably gonna get stopped right here. I might stop a little bit tighter on there. No biggie. Look at that. Stop placement. Maybe one tick away. No worries. There's that big order here at 35. Let's see if it's a buy order. Could really use that awesome mix volume 1 right now. Check that Discord out. Patience, 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 patience. Potentially could have gotten myself a good entry here. Let's see what's going on with that. Still on that 30-minute, you're getting that reversal looking candle here, right? Sitting on that support. See if it pulls back through 33. 30 is the value area, the high. If it wants to come back into there and accept into there, then you know it is what it is. Did have a slight gap up today, so I don't know if it wants to close that right now. To be honest, I think it's bullish still. Oh
Order
no,
filled.
wrong one. Oh well. Heyo. See what the Nasdaq's doing. Fucking with me. Did not mean to click that button there. No worries.
Order filled.
I'm getting in on the pullback here on my top trader. TopStep. TopStep trader. Crude oil inventories 2.108 million versus the negative 4.466. So let's see what crude looks like on something like that kind of news. Interesting. United States crude. All right. Still pushing higher even though there's a glut. Who knows? Maybe it'll want to sell off. Not thinking about that one much. So that stop placement was pretty solid for the moment. I got to almost, one tick. And now we're trying to get back above that overnight high. If we could push above that overnight high, this could be the candle where it runs up. 938. This was that 30-minute candle close. There was some volatility there, right? We said push down. Now we're pushing back up again. Let's see what happens in due time. Nasdaq pulling back. S&P's rejecting the overnight high. Just really doesn't like the overnight highs. It is range bound today. Here we go, pushing back up. Could that have been manipulation? Could that have been just a stop run until we run up higher? Or could it have been just people are range bound selling right now? Who knows? Could I still get stopped out? Quite easily. Name of the game is patience. smart patience. If you're there's a difference between just letting a loser crush you and understanding price action a bit. And some of these things just come with seeing it over and over and over again. I mean, I spend so many hours just staring at these charts that I kind of sort of understand what's going on with certain things. I need to see this break above that high right there. If I could accept into this gray zone, then we got some life in the trade. Would love to see some life in it. NASDAQ pushing up again. Looking to potentially reject, but not so quite yet. Love to see it at that previous day high. That'll make me a happy camper, and that would help my S&P position. It looks like it wants to push up, hold above that overnight high. So there's a bunch of orders right here where we're sitting. So I think there's a lot of people thinking the same way that I'm thinking. I hope you got to see sort of what my mindset was in this situation, where I'm not panicking on a sell-off. I know I always, preach stop loss use and stuff like that, but there's certain situations where, especially at these levels, I don't really like to have a tight stop. I understand where my drawdown limits are and sort of some price action and movement. I really think that there's a good chance here that this could be just eating up some orders. But if it does roll over below here, there's a good chance it's going to keep going. I'm not trying to bleed out at that point. Take a 350 loss, move on to the next. Just kind of got to see why I didn't put it out there in the beginning, because this is what was going to happen, right? It's likely to happen. It happens frequently. I mean, do I want to catch an entry down here? That would be great. Fantastic. Is that going to happen always? No. Sometimes it'll just reject right where it's at and run up. So there's some days I got to be a little bit more patient. Sometimes my patience pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But I've been doing pretty well for myself as far as catching these moves on a consistent basis, all right? I know it's long, it's hard to stay in interactive with this, but in due time, I'm going to do this every day as best I can. And hopefully it'll help some people learn how to deal with some trading psychology stuff, trading with the job, understanding that there are things, jobs, families, right? Patience. Trading Cowboy Day maybe made me hold that a little longer too, right? That cowboy hat. I'm going to keep mentioning it because I dig it. Anybody who is on and off, maybe check out this recording. It's going to be posted on the channel. I will break it down quickly on the screen, if whatever the profit or loss will be for the day. Fully transparent, right? This is how this works. Some days you experience some drawdown and you take a big profit, or some days you take a loss. Today we're looking to catch this move. I think this is winding up to be a nice run up, so just patient. There is a jiu-jitsu class at 11. I kind of want to go over there and say what's up. Show off my battle scars, broken ankle and all. Man, it loves to reject that overnight high there. love to see that NASDAQ run up one more time. Help my position here. Look at that. This price level was super respected. 43.39. If I didn't have a broken ankle, I would run to the kitchen and get some coffee quick. But there's no running going on right now. There was some push. I'd get this above 40, and there's a chance it'll hold above 40, but there's a decent amount of orders here, right? Need to eat some of these up to get through. Running into a wall here. Wall of orders. Something tells me if it does get above it, it's going to pump. But will it get above it is the question. It's technically a bull flag, if that's what you want to call it. Pattern. Right now, it really just loves that overnight high. Look at how spot on that level is. I mean, it just sits on that level. Didn't panic whip myself out. Let it ride. Squeeze is coming down to a flattening out here. Maybe it'll pop up a little bit. NASDAQ might like that VWAP again. Probably not. There's just a bunch of orders down here. Push up above 40 for me, huh? I'm glad I got a few people on here for a lot of the time. Hopefully every day we can make this grow, we'll make it worthwhile. I'll do hopefully some education talk while we're doing it. So you just get a view inside my mind, what we're looking at, where we want to go, where we're going to take the charts. I got my fancy shirt on because it was the closest one. Brooks Brothers. I got this hat here. Where's the hat from? Fresh hat. This hat is HH. Henschel hat. Got this in Dallas. Classy cowboy. Price is pushing back up. If we can get through 43.40, it would be a beautiful thing. When I do post the live stream, maybe I'll cut out some fluff, but I think I'm just going to leave it how it is. If you want to cut through, you could fast forward, run through some things, see if there's some stuff that will help you along the way that you might enjoy, revisiting how I set my levels. Maybe, in the beginning of the video when there wasn't many people here, you could see how I set my levels, how I'm looking at price action, what I saw from the day before. If you have any questions after the fact, you could always shoot me a message on the YouTube. Shoot a comment on. If you wanted to join the Discord, I shoot a lot of information of my journey on there also. there should be a link in my channel. You can join up, check out what I post in there. It's pretty much the same thing that I post on YouTube. However, if you have questions and stuff, you could always ask me. It's just an open discussion, not anything super formal. Hopefully this is not gonna roll over on me here. I kind of have this ominous feeling right now. Come on, there we go. Coming up on 10 o'clock. Come on, there we go. I tend to maneuver my charts a lot just to catch like where I can see the best with some of the numbers that are there. Really would like to see this break out at some point soon. Down 354 on the day. These are some of my open positions here. This is just because of long-term options plays, playing leaps out there. Some of them are just, they're all just melting. Netflix got volume. So Netflix, I'm playing this out into June 2022. Yesterday they had earnings, didn't quite reach earnings. My drawdown, a lot of that is the long-term options, and they all got volume crushed yesterday and the day before. So not too worried. The reason I picked out a year out in advance on the spreads is they will recover at some point. Consider those leaps. So I'm not really worried about those for a few months. That portion of my account is set up for that specific set of drawdowns. Oh, unlock. I don't think I was inactive, but whatever floats your boat, thinkorswim. Man, patience really killing me. Hopefully it plays out, pays off, I should say. What's going to end up happening is I'm going to have everybody get off of the live stream, and then it's either going to run up or down, and that's that. But be patient. Enjoy the ride. This game is probabilities and patience and psychology and not letting any sort of emotions get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish, right? Obviously, you're in the game to make money. You're in the game to profit and whatnot, but it's a long-term game, even though you're doing short-term trades here on the day trading side. Swing trading side, you're looking to catch out bigger, longer profits, obviously. Catch some of these bigger moves, right? If I were to go out, it's really, swing trading options, futures is probably not the best idea as far as I'm concerned. But you can see, you're swing trading some of these, you could hold them for longer periods of time, you're going to get some of these run-ups. But that eats up so much of your account, for the futures accounts. Swing trading stuff I like to do is with the options and with the FX. But gotta, at the moment, focusing on one at a time. Not the futures as much. Futures is options. I'm sorry. Kind of set and forget. Waiting, watching the clock. It's 9:54. Breakfast of Champions, Velveeta. Not sponsored, just hungry. Sorry if it's crunching in your ears, but I need a little bite. That's what live streaming is. Yeah, I'll get that Texas accent soon. But for now, I'm still got that New York A little bit, just a touch. Just waiting on levels. Look at that, choppy NASDAQ. Just grinding up. Like I said, in days like this, there's a chance it just grinds and grinds and grinds. There could be some crazy random news event though that pushes it in either direction. You never know. That's why you got to be on the screens. You got to be active. I don't recommend day trading, especially on Thinkorswim Mobile, because Thinkorswim Mobile it takes like 6 clicks to get out into a position. So it's not really 6. It's like 3, but that's too slow. I want 1 click in, 1 click out. I always have my auto send here clicked, because if you click it off, it'll say, you sure you want to do that? And then by that time it moved 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 10 ticks. I don't want that. Look at that. We went back into positive territory at $12.50. Now we're at 0. But after that drawdown, the patience, if I even just break even today on that, if I can't get a breakout above this, there's a point where you got to just say, hey, it's not going to do what I expected it to do. Today I have all day, but some days you don't. I'm better off ending with a small loss or a break even or a small win instead of taking that big loss or just trying to catch something that's not there, right? My analysis is there. I had the right idea. Does it want to break out? Is there going to be orders that's going to push it to have it break above that level? Who knows? Maybe just price wants to be here. It could stay here forever, for the rest of the time. It could just bounce back and forth on this little line. Will it? Probably not, but you understand the idea. Just trying to get you in my head a little bit. At some point, break even is great, especially after being down, $300 or whatever it was. Try not to chew in your ear. Oh man, I really wish I didn't have this cast on my foot. I would love to run for some coffee. Love me some coffee. Tomorrow I'm going to have a little bit more prepared. Maybe I'll put the pot on my drink out of the pot. That would be hilarious. Cowboy hat, drinking out of a pot of coffee. I'm going to look into the YouTube rules a little bit more about live streaming and the idea of playing music and whatnot, because I do like to listen to music when I'm sitting here grinding away on days like today especially, but I don't like to, I know they have all these copyright rules and whatnot. They might end the stream if they flag it or something. I don't know. I'd rather you see the charts, see where I'm coming from, and have a better idea. If you did like the video, or if you enjoyed some parts of it and didn't like others, shoot me a message. Let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what you want to hear about while I'm trading, what I'm thinking about, where, if you have an idea of like, hey, why'd you put that level there? I'll give you an idea. All right. Just shoot me all these questions. I'll start answering. If you have friends that are interested in trading or seeing guys wear cowboy hats staring into a camera, eating Belvita crackers, share it. Let everybody know that and we'll hopefully grow this a little bit more and more and see where it goes. I just want to try and help as many people and show that it's possible. I was not a finance major or anything like that. You can do this as long as you have some patience and you learn to control your emotions as best as possible. That's the key part of this game, is emotions. And we're going to close this candle in 3, 2, 1, and 0. Let's see if we get some price movement here. And it looks like we are going to get a little tiny bit. Nothing. Got a new 30-minute candle. Come on, baby. Let's see what this chart's looking like here. So look, this tends to be a reversal candle. Hopefully it acts like that today. This one did, and it rolled over. This one did. Possibly we're gonna get a push up above here, above our value zone. So we are starting to get a little bit of a move. We are back positive at $12.50. Big 1 tick, 2 ticks. We're up 2 ticks. Fantastic. So here we go. This could be the push that we needed. NASDAQ is now pushing. See, once it gets above that overnight high, it broke through that wall. There's a bit of a run. So there you have that. I am actually in that on my TopStep. So it's above break even now. See if we can take it to 14,780. If not, I'm going to get stopped out. No biggie. And currently that S&P is looking like it wants to get above that zone. Let's see. Come on, baby. I'm going to coach it. You got to caress it up there. Push through this, at least accept into here. Then we can move on, at least get some analysis on the trade. Keeps rejecting it, so. It definitely wants to push above it. I say definitely, probably. That's a 30-minute chart. Back to the 5. Oh, that could be. My only concern is with that now, right? We do have so choppy. We have a double top situation forming. Could be a signal of a reversal the other direction, but nothing fundamentally is telling me that. And this move here tells me that people want to take it higher. And NASDAQ is pushing, so 14,780 is that good solid target. I'm going to trail my stops on my TopStep position. Secure myself a couple $100 on that. Oh, there's some buy orders there. I'm going to leave it at 14,770. Where's that low? All right. I could take that and run right now quick, but I'm not going to. Just shy of that 14,780. What's the high here? 778. Come on. Looking at you here. S&Ps. The hypothesis is still there. The trade is still there. At some point, it may dip back down below this overnight high again. Try to scoop up a couple more orders. And it could go. Like I said, our target zone is the top, at least the top of here at 47. And then I'm looking, if it could break above 47, we can have a nice little, it's going to be a choppy run, but 43.53. 38. Come on now. So it accepted above 43.40. I'm hoping that that's the full acceptance. Stop filled on the
Stop
NASDAQ.
filled.
So it pulled back a little bit. Up 960 on the NASDAQ, still down a little bit on the S&Ps, but I think this S&P is going to be the key to the day here. If I can catch it, have it run up a little bit, still up 600 on that TopStep account. I think we need this to run up through our little resistance zone. Otherwise, this double top could be valid. So that's when I start to get a little more cautious, when you start to see patterns like that. This here is valid. It didn't quite make it all the way up there, but this guy here did tickle it and reject. So let's see what happens. I still think NASDAQ's got room to go up, but it's just gonna grind. So for catching, I did catch 2 moves on this NASDAQ. I'm gonna show you here. I sort of called them out, but caught this one and this one. 2 buys, here to here, here to here. NASDAQ's 960 right now. I got stopped on the S&P. I had to stop 1 tick too high. Got stopped on this count, but didn't get stopped on the other count. I re-entered because I do believe that this was the bottom. So I have to play here. Still up 659. If we can break above, this is where that becomes the play of the day. Me and the S&Ps have a good relationship so far this year. Looking to hopefully continue that today. If I can just invalidate this double top. If I can invalidate the double top, we could have that good run. Done touching the NASDAQ. Pull 960 out of it. You're probably all right. Unfortunately, like I said, with this count size not big enough to dabble in a couple of trades at a time. Otherwise, I did call out which ones I was making. My reasoning behind each one of them. You have to have a reason. Even if it's that Mercury's in retrograde or something, have a reason and stick to the reason. NASDAQ's pumping again. Hopefully that carries the S&Ps up a little bit. There it goes, right to the previous day high again. There we go. I think once we break into there and hold into the gray zone, we should have a little bit of upside left to it. Like I said, I think it will do a full review of TopStep, but here's my so far step 2. This is day 3. Day 1 made up 112.66. Day 2, $2,000 day. Day 3 is today. As long as you don't dip below this line, you're still in the game. You got to do 10 days of trading. If I pass step 2, then I pass the combine, get funded. So here's the hoping. Back down below our entry. Double top, possibly looking to mess around with us a little bit. Let's see what this is all about here. Don't think that's gonna happen though. This is very strong. You got the pullback. That's your little mean reversion. it hit off the point of control. This 39 level is that strong resistance. Still looking to see if we can catch it above here and push it up. Today, the name of the game is patience. Patience. So 11 o'clock here Central Time is 12 noon Eastern. A lot of traders like to go to lunch by noon there, so might see some sort of volatility going on between now and 11 here. So we'll see. If not, patience. Either get in or out of positions before lunch, looking for profit taking, going out and taking the rest of the day sometimes. See what it looks like on 30-minute. Still a valid bullish chart. Still above here. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low here. Hopefully it's staying above here and running back up. There's just so much resistance here. Could have been a good fade. Still here, still live, still waiting. I pulled up the 30-minute chart just to check out some of the pattern here. We're looking at still being a bullish trend a little bit here on the 30, slightly. We're just grinding around here at the entry point. Interesting how the NASDAQ was being pumped up and then now it's rejecting again. So like I said, between 10 and 11 here, it started to get a little bit of movement. People going to lunch around 11, 12 o'clock Eastern. So we will see. That's what I have to go over here. Back to the point of control at 43.37. See what it does from there. Still want to see if this is a valid reversal of this. Not sure what's going on with that. Crude oil pushing closer to 70, 69. See what it looks like, actually. Let's see what gold looks like. Gold's pushing up. Oil also pushing up. Let's see if some of this will catch some of that momentum as well. I haven't got really much out of Market Watch. Just that we had a increased storage of U.S. crude oil. Now that I live here in Texas, crude oil, U.S. inventories, stuff like that, it's a local thing. So maybe I'll get some insights from some of those people down here and see what they say about oil prices and where they see it going. And I'll pass some of that information along and see where it takes us. Alrighty, come on. Could this be the final rejection of this overnight high? We will see. Strong move up. $10.15. These 30-minute candles are just sitting there. Cocoa, bear market deepens despite second quarter chocolate demand. Interesting. I don't even know what the futures symbol for cocoa is, but I don't trade it. But I did get an alert on it. Apparently it's dipping quite a bit. There comes a point in a day where you have to decide to cut your trade, look to re-enter, or hold and be patient. I have not reached that point yet. However, some of you may have. Like I said, sometimes it's not the most glamorous watching this chart. I like to have it on the 5-minute. I don't mind the chop. I don't mind seeing where price is going. I like to see, like, especially when I'm doing this, right? If we're going into swing trades and stuff, dailies, 4 hours, hourlies, that's different, right? On a day-to-day, some people even like this down on the 1 minute. I don't like that kind of noise. That's just, look at all that noise. You can't tell anything from that, right? This is just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Whoa, okay. You get that runoff at that hour. I'm not really a fan of the 1 minute. 5 minute is as low as I like to go for entry, exit. 30 minute I like to go to every time, every hour, half hour, if I'm looking to enter or exit. But right now we're kind of just sitting at this level and it's trying to make a decision. Right? Look at this, still that load of orders here. So you never know. It wants to go one way or the other, and it's trying to suck up some of these orders before it picks that direction. Summertime trading. I don't know where the VIX is at. I kind of don't want to pull it up yet right now. Stream is a little bit behind, but I think you're getting the picture. Like I said, I'm gonna try and increase or decrease the latency. So tomorrow, or and whenever I do some live streaming, it's pretty immediate for you guys. I want you to be able to interact and see the charts on your own if you have a screen pulled up or something like that. so you can see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. And we're gonna get a little bit of volume right now, a little bit of movement, hopefully. So maybe this is bottoming out. Maybe we can get a little bump back up in the squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we can get one more red dot, the squeeze might be coming into play. Just less volume and stuff like that. I don't know what the algorithm is. I don't pretend to know. I just used some of these to help me enter and exit. We did enter in the middle of a blue whatever, but that kind of had no bearing. It was really more about my levels. You did get that rejection here, so it was a fair move. You rejected here, maybe I could have waited a little longer, but it is what it is. I will say that a lot. I do see like there's a little bit more of order flow coming in right now, a lot more quick price action moves. So hopefully you can't really see it on this chart, but I do see it on the TopStep. There's benefits to each of these charts that I have going with the TopStep and with the Thinkorswim. I really do like the Thinkorswim platform. I think it's super functional. It's pretty smooth. It takes a lot of noise out. You can make it however you like. I don't think Trader 8's that great. It's a little clunky, but you do see some order flow a little bit. Having more than one platform open, you can see the order flow here and order flow there. So I do enjoy that. And I kind of see some positions a little bit better on the Trader 8, but we'll see what I stick with. Yeah, I love that level, man. That's fantastic. As much as it's not breaking it, right? And we're not getting what we want from the break, the early entry into it. I would have loved the NASDAQ trade on here. You had one entry, potentially the second entry, and then you got right to your target. I'm happy with that. I did take those trades on the TopStep just because I have the buying power to do so. I was being a little more patient on this account. This is just like a longer term account. I do not have as much buying power on it, so as I grow the account and as I do these daily, you'll see maybe I'll be able to put on 2 contracts or trade a NASDAQ and an S&P. But right now, one at a time, and we'll take it from there, okay? There's decent orders, sell side orders looking like at 43.42, 43.42. So yeah, it's the top of there. Hopefully we can bust through those sells and see what happens. I have one more Belvita cookie. Big time profit day right now. 37.50. 3 full ticks. That's a good question, Ryan. Yeah, each tick is $12.50. So that $1 price change is really not a dollar. It's 1 point. And in each point in the S&Ps, there is 4 ticks. So it'll go up in 0.25 increments, as you can see here. 43.40, 43.25, 43.50. So each one of these ticks, as you can see on the side here, 12.50. Each tick is $12.50. So you can really calculate your wins and losses based on how many contracts and how much each tick costs. So, or each tick will be as a profit. So with one contract, it's $12.50. 2 contracts, you basically can see, however many contracts you have on, you go up this left side and you can see how much each tick will make you, right? So as your account size gets bigger and your buying power is there, you could put on 1 or 2 or 3. People put on a lot of contracts, but as far as being able to get those kind of dollars, like I said in the beginning, the margins are pretty high. I'm gonna see if I put the big buttons up here. Nope, that's not it. Not big buttons. Dashboard, I think it is. Dashboard. Right down here it says $12,100. You need that much in margin at least just to put on one position. So every time you put in another position, 5, 6 positions, you need a lot of money to do that, right? So there's functionality. You're able to make some money with one contract. You just have to have a certain strategy that allows you to do that. So that's a good question as far as how many future contracts did I buy and that dollar price change showing $50 P&L. So yeah, so 1 point, so from 40 to 41, that's $50 because it's $12 per tick. 4 ticks in a point, and there's your answer. So that's a good question, man. I did say that I'm going to put out a video explaining a little bit about futures and just not really like a super in-depth course on everything about futures, but I'll give you resources. In my Discord thing, I do have like links to other people who have videos and stuff like that. I could also pop them in my YouTube channel when I get a chance. We did just touched it, and there's so many sell orders just sitting there at that level. I'm hesitant to hold this. It really just wants to reject that. That's a very strong level there. Interesting. That double top might have been valid. Come on, back up. Reject the overnight high. So these two levels are pretty strong. They're fighting each other tooth and nail. Sort of what I like about this game here is it's a see who wins kind of battle. It's still bullish, right? It's not quite tricking me into getting out of my position, but it's making me think a little bit, right? The psychology of this is fantastic. But just seeing that order was there at that 43.42, or just maybe they bumped it down. There's always dark pool money and stuff like that, but there's order flow up here, and that's a strong sell off of that level. But it could have eaten up some of those sells, so I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna grind through this and bear it out. But that makes me think a little bit about cutting something if it does accept again below the overnight high pretty strongly. Like I said, my stop likely won't get trailed too much unless I start seeing some of this downside moving. I might just flatten it. But if I can break above this level, that's when you can start securing profit. I would like to get the break even if it does get into here, just because I feel like there is a decent amount of sell orders in there. If I can stop the break even on a day like this, it's fine, because it is just a grind on the day like today. I really could have tried to catch this move on the open, but I didn't necessarily think it was convincing enough at the moment. Sorry for chewing in your ear again. This is my breakfast. Don't tell my wife. All right, well, looks like it wants to sell off again. Not convinced. Show me something. Continuously coming back to this point of control on this day. But it's interesting how the point of control here is a bit different than the point of control here. It just pushed down below it, so it may not like it too much. Value area low on this is 34.38. We still have our stops at 33. Might give it one more chance to break through, and then I might cut it. I want to break free. Some crumbs here. Still really, I mean, it is slow and it's choppy. And sometimes you got to grind out the chop. We did just, once again, at that 30-minute mark, got to push down. Now we started a new 30-minute candle. Oop. So this 30-minute pattern here is still showing me a sort of like a wedge. So it has not broken down below this little bottom here. I don't like really drawing out wedge patterns too much, but it tried to break above, failed. See what happens if it can break above here. This might be the point where we get that little bit of a pop, potentially in either direction. So that's why we got this fail safe, the stop loss. I do like this 5-minute chart to give me a little bit of a read. See what the NASDAQ here, it's pulling back to the overnight high. So if you are somebody who's looking at, hey, you know, if we're going to analyze the NASDAQ, it has been grinding. Like I said, days like today, when you have a flat pre-market, you have a grind up, you're probably going to just continue to grind in the direction that you started in, right? So you're grinding and grinding and grinding. If you think that, hey, this is just going to continue on and grind up, if you hit off on this overnight high and you get a rejection, you possibly can take this back, you know, one to that 14,800. It's a nice round number. Or even just from the overnight high, just above the previous day high, and look to see if that's, you know, if you break this previous day high, though, there's really no, not a lot of room. There's a lot of chop up here, yes, but there's not a lot of resistance moving up to this high. So there is a potential good opportunity there. We could pull back even down to 760, down into here, and then run back up, but we'll see. That's just something to keep in mind while you're looking at this chart and what I'm doing at the moment, you know. I did explain, right, that it was going to potentially try and soak up some more orders one more time before it did run up. So let's see if that was what this was, or if this is just going to be a continuation of just another, it could ride along the whole time, just chopping around like that. So I just wanted to show you that I did mention that, you know, we're trying to understand the players in this game, because we're just one of the pawns, kind of along for the ride. Alright, like you can see this if we go into the past. You got run up, chop around, sell off, run up, chop around. However, this is kind of starting to fade. This here is very flat. You have to run down, chop around, pull back, and then run all the way down. So you're going to see a lot of this where the price consolidates for a bit and then chooses direction. You know, if you're here, you're running up, you're consolidating for a bit, but it's like a wedge, kind of how we have it going right now, and then it breaks above. Obviously, it sold off again, but you're seeing that run up, you know, it's just price, people behaving in certain patterns as a group. I'm happy we at least got a few questions already. Hate saying Let's see what we got going on here. I want to break free. That's what I imagine that they're singing. I want to break free. I think I should stop my singing career before it starts. Sorry, choking on a little crumb. I'm glad like I said, we did have some good questions. I did wear my cowboy hat today, so at least that's a draw. That's a good thing. As far as the day trading is concerned, it's I do enjoy that this is the first stream, because you do get a sense into some psychology without saying, oh man, you got to win. That's great. First 10 minutes. This stream is nice because it gives you the opportunity to see that there is some sort of a grind through it some days, right? I have videos posted, and I will in the future. There'll be times where I'll make my money in a couple minutes. There'll be times I'll hit I'll draw down that I don't want to go any further for the day and just kind of cut it. But I'm kind of happy that today we had a little bit of a conversation, a little bit of a longer stream, so that's good. Even if this does end up becoming just a break-even trade, those are days that happen, and that's something that I like to show. I want to make sure that everybody can see that you break even sometimes, and that's just kind of what happens. Or even if you lose, it happens. But as long as you have a plan and you're sticking to your plan, that's what's going to make you be able to stick around in this game. Just wants to not push up. I mean, my entry point was spot on as far as where price wants to be, which is not kind of exactly what I wanted, but it's the level. It's the decision point, to be honest. You're either right or wrong at this point. It's just like that set of orders that are just lingering here. There's tons of money sitting there. Just to sit and wait. And sit and wait. To be honest, I may just cut it if it doesn't run out by 11. If it doesn't choose a direction by 11 o'clock, I'm probably going to call it a day. I'm just going to sit on my hands for probably the rest of the day. I do have to run by the jiu-jitsu school, sign some paperwork, freezing my membership for a little while because of the 3 months I got to sit out and heal my ankle. And just go hang out, maybe watch the class for a little bit, get out of the house, the apartment, I should say. But I would like to be a little more patient with this and give it a chance to break above that, but it's just going to kind of, it seems like it just wants to sit and consolidate. Like I said, I'm going to give myself till 11. You can sit around, hang around with me. I'm going to keep the stream going until I'm done for the day. If it decides to run out, it decides to run out. If it doesn't, then, it is what it is. If it does run out, though, and it's past 11, I'm probably going to just trail up my stops. And with, I know Thinkorswim, I said I don't like to actively day trade. But if you got something going on, right, you're in a position and it's already, risk is mitigated, and you got some stops, and you got to go do stuff, don't be afraid to use that mobile app, trail the stops up. You can always just edit. It's not going to be as great. You can maybe I'm a little tighter. If I leave the house, I'm a little tighter with my stops. I'll let it, I'll take some profits and let it go. But unless I'm really just trying to let some big position run, I'm going to keep that stop pretty tight. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys all being here for on and off for the last 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I hope that every day we can pick something out, have a little bit more conversation, do little nitpicky things, with platform issues or anything like that. Your questions on futures, options. Like I said, right now I'm kind of just holding off on my options. They're a little longer term. I'm in as many positions as I really want to be at the moment. I will think about adding if something presents itself, if I decide to. But at the moment, I'm kind of just letting those ones play out for a few months, maybe, depending on which ones I want to cut. But that's not right now, so I'm not really too concerned about it. There's that NASDAQ reaching down to that point where I thought we were going to maybe have another buy opportunity. So, like I said, I'm done with NASDAQ for the day. I did take 960 out of it with the TopStep, so I'm not trying to lose any more of that. But this is the point where if it rejects here, look to take it above here. It's not a signal. It's not financial advice, but that's what I would do if I was still in this trade or still looking to trade it. I'm not. I'm looking to just manage the positions that I'm in and call it a day. There are opportunities out there. If you have Thinkorswim or any sort of platform, pull it up, take a look, keep seeing what I'm seeing, and try and just at least look at the charts and make it work. Maybe I'll just I'm gonna look into the music thing. If you have any music suggestions, run them by me. Maybe I'll see if there's like a royalty-free way of doing it, because I'm not trying to get the live stream pulled down for no reason. I'm trying to get you guys just involved in my day-to-day. I want to do some videos where I'm filming what it's like when I wake up, when I get my coffee, do a day, like a whole day video. That'll probably be coming. It's a little difficult right now with the cast on to hop around and film, but I'll give it a shot. Hopefully maybe sometime next week we'll do one of those videos. Just show a day-to-day where I have to get up and trade. I got to do what I have to do to eat and get ready and go to work. Actually work. I'm not going to show you work. It's normal. And then, come home and maybe set up trades for the next day. There's a day-to-day. Also, if you got a family, I do. You got to take care of kids and balance your family life, do, fun stuff. So I'm going to add some of that stuff as well. Here's to hoping that this decides to break out before 11. If not, we'll call it a day. I want to break free. I want to break free. It is just sitting there waiting to break out. Like I'm pretty patient, and I would love to just sit here, but I do have to take care of that membership thing. My professor over there, Professor Dracolino at the Crazy Baja, is teaching at 11, so I wanted to go say hi and fill out the forms and make sure everything's squared away and still be a part of it, even though I'm broken. You know, you could take away a lot by just sitting there and watching and learning moves and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to hope to do. 15 minutes here, and I'll head over there. I don't have to be there for a startup for stretching time because, you know, not doing anything. But I'm also just giving it to 11 for us. And, you know, at least having just a hard cutoff. That'll put us at about 2 hours, 40-ish, 45 minutes-ish. Almost 3 hours. I appreciate anybody who stayed around or joined in at any time, shared it, liked it. I appreciate everybody. Nothing special here. I will start to grow it, start to do some other things, and as we have more viewers and stuff like that, hopefully we can really get involved in some stuff. Right now it's just like, you know, day to day of what I'm doing. It's full transparency, and just helps you see that there's people that think just like you out there, you know. Wife's texting me. I know she dabbled back and forth in and out of this live stream. We have a very interesting situation going on as far as living, set up. So this is a good way for her to see me. It's going. It's just sitting there. 15 minutes. You know you want to jump up into that little gray zone there. If I were you, price chart, I would jump right in. Jump right into there. Do us all a favor and show us off. Funny. And we are at a point of rejection or decision. We have pushed through some of these orders. Is it going to come back down and try and catch some more of them? Who knows? Is it going to sell off like it has been? We just have to kind of be patient with it. I guess I'm going to give it to 11. Hey, maybe I don't have to give it to 11. Maybe it'll decide right now that it wants to run right through my little gray box there and make me look right on my first live stream day. 43, 42 is that pretty significant number. And if we can hold above that 43, 42 level, that's when I think we will have accepted into that gray box of a zone there. And I think it'll probably either chop around or blow right through it if it does break that 43, 42 level. Yeah, people love to text. Concerned about the foot. Alrighty. If you're here from Top Traders, thank you for coming over and checking out the future side of everything. Kyler and Cleveland really know what's up, and they've been a help for me for a few years now, and I'm very grateful for everything they've done. If you're not here, maybe you should check them out because they really know what they're talking about. And, if you're in the group, really tap Kyler's willingness to help because not many people out there in this game are like that. So just want to make sure you guys really appreciate what he's doing for you and everything like that. A good mentor and a good education is worth a lot, and they do a really good job for a fair deal, I think. So just keep giving them the attention, and they're going to really help you grow on this journey. And hopefully I could help you a little bit too, as far as just guiding you in the right directions. You could ask me any questions anytime, either in the TopStep group, in my Discord. I don't care, wherever you are on this YouTube. We're just going to make sure, we're not really affiliated or anything. Like, this is just myself doing my own journey, but I always like to give props to people who help me. I'm pretty loyal, and those guys are loyal to no end. So I'm always going to be appreciative of everybody at TopStep, at Top Traders, and I'm going to make sure that you guys know it. All right. There we go. We accepted into our zone. Didn't have to wait till 11. So at this point, right, we're in the zone. Hopefully it holds into there. I don't foresee it wanting to reject too much. If it does, I'm going to just kind of run my stop up to break even and call it a day. But if you're patient, things start to play out, right? You heard my goal of the day is usually like a $500 a day. If I can make $500 every single day, it would be a great time. However, some days you break even, some days you make more, some days you pull out a lot, some days you hit spot on 500, some days you pull out 100. To me, today, if I could catch this move and be happy that my levels and my analysis were right, and I was able to grind it out, and I made the right choice, and I was patient, and I did everything that I needed to do, then I'm happy. Even if I got stopped out at a certain point, I'm okay with what I did for the day. I feel like my trading psychology was good. I felt like I had a plan, and I felt like things that needed to happen as far as what I was doing to teach you that is real happened. That's pretty cool. So I'm happy that we're able to at least show a day like today, right? Where we're able to grind, we're able to at least pull up, a strategy that works. You don't need a perfect strategy. You just need to be consistent, and you need to have everything squared away. You can't be super distracted, because once you're distracted, things, get a little bit messy. So for me, I'm quite happy with the way the analysis worked, right? It took a while, but there we are. We're breaking into it. So I'm going to move my stops to break even now, because I really don't want to lose money today. And after that grind of a day, I'm up to right now. If it accepts back below that value zone that I drew up there, then it's probably going to roll back over anyway. And it's going to roll back into down here. And my time frame for today was at 11 o'clock. So if at 11 o'clock it decides that it wants to run down, run back up, and take me out at a break even, so be it. If it decides to run up and hit some higher targets, we'll be happy with that too. But we executed a plan. We have a plan. And if we have distractions, we have, time constraints, or you just need to get out of the house and do some stuff, you can do that. You can have a life. You can do things. You don't have to sit here all day and stare at this, right? I did what I needed to do. Maybe I got in a little early. Maybe I got in a little late. Who knows? But I'm having a plan. I'm sticking to my plan, and we're going to go from there. I'm happy that you guys were all here. You did whatever you needed to do to stick around and jump in, jump out. I can see when people come in and out, which is cool. I appreciate some comments and questions. And like I said, hopefully we can grow it. I said I was going to get out by 11 if it didn't run up. We got 6 minutes. I'm hoping that this holds above in my little zone there. If it doesn't and it comes back down and stops me out, it does. It is what it is. That's my term. You can hear me say that a lot. But I'm looking to hopefully have it hold above 43, 42 and stay in that zone. And if it can do that for me, it's going to be a winning day. So I'll hold on until 11 completely, like I said. And then I'm going to run over to the jiu-jitsu school. If I'm still in this trade, I'm just going to kind of trail it up. Or, if I feel like it's going to chop around in that zone, I might just close it out. But I'll keep you posted with what the end result is. I'll post it in the comments or whatever when this is posted for later viewing. Just going to keep an eye on it a little bit more. My TopStep is doing all right here. Up at 7. 43.42. There we go. A little pop up. 43.44. My trade plan was to wait for it to get above here and then start to secure some profits, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait till it breaks. Probably, I wanted to hit up at 43.45. It did already, but it has to try and hold it. Because while it's in this zone, there's going to be buyers and sellers, and it's going to chop around a bit. But my thought process is if it does get into here, it is likely to get above it and through it. So that's your explanation for my thought process here. Ryan, I know you're in here, or you were in here for probably the longest. I really appreciate you sticking around. And if you need any help ever, just hit me up. Let me know. It's pretty cool that you guys stayed around. So not leaving yet, but I do appreciate that you stuck around. But checking my messages from my wife. Okay. Hold above 43.45, and that'll be a nice little day. If not, 11 o'clock, probably going to move the stop to 43.42. Call it a solid day plus 100. Yesterday plus 450 something or whatever. 475, I think. A goal for me is 2,500 for the week. Would be nice, but not always easy to do. 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes left in this 30-minute candle, right? We'll see. Maybe this at 11 it'll pop a little bit, and we'll get a nice little trailed up stop. Let it breathe a little bit. Sometimes you just gotta let it breathe. I'll get in here a little tighter when I get to look for trailing of stops and whatnot. Who knows? I mean, if I could get this to run up here and I leave 11, if I come back on and I'm still in this for some reason, where it didn't come back down and stop me out, or if while I was out I didn't trail my stops up and move it around, I'll hop back on and show you a little bit of what I've got going on. $43.45 is that little flush point there. I think if it breaks through there, you got a little bit of a ways to go. You got that squeeze indicator here that I was talking about starting to pop off green. You're getting those light blue candles showing that you're starting to run up again. So see if that maybe helps the cause a bit. Upside target, once you break through, you're looking at 43.47. I'm looking more 43.56. If it can explode out, 43.56 would be a really solid hold. But that's just something that's hard. Coronavirus Delta variant is now in 124 countries. Who cares? That's not going to drive markets very much. In my TopStep, I am currently up 1,100. like I said, I'm a little tighter with my stops in the TopStep, because that's something. If you break some rules, you lose the money, and then they don't give you any more. So I get a little tight with my stops and just try to catch smaller, not smaller moves, but I have more contracts on, secure more profits quicker. I could let this one breathe a little bit more because I don't have a challenge ahead of me. We're still getting some more increased volume even at that resistance level, so maybe we can get it to bust through. It's 11 o'clock. All right, so sticking to my rules, 43.42. Score $100 for the day minimum. We did a good job of being patient, understanding price action, and a little bit of trader psychology here. So I appreciate you sticking around. Thank you for joining me on my first live stream. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it. I'm going to do it every day that I trade. So I will update you on if this decides to run out. But for now, we've secured $100. I'm going to go to the jiu-jitsu school and do some stuff. All right? So take care and peace out.